give summary? Yeah, 16th chapter summary. And then chanting of the verses. Chanting of the verses, we can do it tonight itself. Okay, whole 16th chapter we will chant at the end. And then so I will spend a little bit of time in the summary. So let's look at it verse by verse, and we can group the verses together and see what are the main themes that emerge. So the 16th chapter is the 16th and the 17th together come at a very important juncture. You know, the 13th and the 15th chapter, both of them gave a lot of Mahavakyas, lot of knowledge and lot of understanding of Atma as Ishvara. They did a very, very wonderful job, very deep. And then so the 16th and the 17th chapter make a little bit of a departure from talking about Atma Jnanam to understanding what is the kind of Mahavakya friendly lifestyle I should lead. This is the positionality of the 16th and the 17th. Both of them can be clubbed together because of their topics. So just like if you take a plant that is growing in the tropics and then shift it to the Himalayas, will it grow? No. Because it is used to sun, humidity, and it is used to a certain kind of soil. And here if you transplant it and try to make it grow somewhere else, then it is definitely going to die. So similarly, a Vedantic lifestyle, a lifestyle that is conducive to understanding the Mahavakya. Because the Mahavakya should be transformative for me. Otherwise, what will be there? Nothing. And so therefore, a Mahavakya friendly lifestyle, a Vedanta friendly lifestyle is talked about in chapters 16 and 17, albeit in slightly different ways. So why do I need a Vedanta friendly lifestyle? This is Vedanta really speaking, because one can be a big Nobel Prize winner and have an absolutely unethical and immoral character. The two have nothing to do with one another. You can become very famous, one can get the Nobel Prize, one can be a huge celebrity. And what is this life? Full of scams, scandals, and all kinds of things. And so there is no difference. One can be a famous author, even writing about dharma, and then have an adharmic lifestyle, and then be found out. Duryodhana tried to write about dharma. And so lots of these kinds of things are there. And so therefore, here we have to see that what you study is what you are. Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. Bhavati here doesn't mean become. Even though the verb bhava, bhu is to become, here we shouldn't say become. Why? It's very unbecoming to say become. No becoming here, no becoming business at all. And so what is it? Brahmavit, the knower of Brahman. Bhavati means is Brahman. There is absolutely no difference between the subject matter and the person studying. Unlike any other branch of knowledge, that's why this is called Paravidya. That's exactly why this is called Paravidya. There is no difference between the person and the knowledge. Unlike any other branch of knowledge. As I have said before, the person who is a professor of microbiology for 25 years doesn't suddenly become a microbe. imagine, imagine the professor one day just like normal coming to teach, and then next day microbiology with microbe bhavati crawls into class the next day, has become a microbe. Does that ever happen? No. Newton discovered the law of gravity. Did he become a branch of physics? No. He did not. So this shows that this Vidya is very special. Unlike any other branch of knowledge, here what you study is what you already are, and you discover that which you previously did not know. That's why the lifestyle is very, very important. A lifestyle that is conducive to Vedanta is talked about at length in chapters 16 and 17, and also by contrast a lifestyle that is not conducive, I don't know what's the opposite, inconducive or unconducive? Unconducive. So the lifestyle that is unconducive to Vedanta is also talked about, so that we are very, very, very clear what is what. So just like you can't just take a plant and plant it somewhere else where it is not accustomed to, and then expect it to grow. Similarly, we cannot expect Vedanta to grow inside of us if the soil, the nurturing, the water and the watering and the sunlight, etc., is not conducive to that Mahavakya of the Upanishads. This is one thing. And a second thing connected to this is that, but so many people are very well read, they are erudite, they are educated, they have so much knowledge. Why can't they study the Upanishads? They do. Sometimes people study the Upanishads out of an ideal curiosity or a willingness, wanting to master it or something like that. But what does it do? It doesn't bless them with transformation. It only gives them information. There is a very big difference between information and transformation. Even a Rakshasa can become very educated. Rakshasa can rattle off the Mandukya Upanishads along with Karika. But then what? What happens? Nothing happens. As usual, has Asuri Sampat and goes on saying, this is mine, this is not mine, all these things, this is not yours anymore, this is also mine. And goes along saying that and bashing up people for breakfast, lunch and dinner. This is what the Rakshasa does. So therefore, what to do now? How to do this? Rakshasa, Swami Paramarthananda ji has a very nice joke. He says, the one who is Sakshara. Sakshara means a person of letters. Aksharena saha vartate means Sakshara means well educated. So the Rakshasa, if the Rakshasa studies Upanishad, the Sakshara becomes Rakshasa. It is just a little flip of the alignment of the letters. And in fact, it's dangerous for a Rakshasa vritti person or Asura vritti person to study the Shastra, because it will give them some ideas how to cover up the Rakshasatvam, how to cover up the Asuri behavior. It's like a polite thief who comes to you, shows the knife and say, can you please give me your wallet? Can you please give me your handbag? You don't want to get hurt, right? It's full of polish. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. This is a well-educated Rakshasa. In fact, it is dangerous to study, for them to study anything. And so, this is the premise. This is how to locate and situate the 16th and the 17th chapters. And the 17th chapter also, same thing. And so, now we will turn towards the specific topics in the 16th chapter. So first, of course, Lord keeps going. Why? Because after having this chapter 15, which is pregnant with Atma Jnanam, and definitely a chapter on reminding the people via Arjuna, reminding all of us, doing us a favor and reminding us about all the attitudes, values, etc. that were talked about in chapter 13. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, krantirarjamam, acharyopasanam, शौचं स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कारमेव च जन्ममृत्युजराव्याधिदुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारुगृहादिषु नित्यं च समतिचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी etc. etc. which we have happily forgotten. And then it is to remind us. Remind means why not cut and paste? Copy paste, easy. Easy. But if Bhagavan had copy pasted, or even Lord Vyasa had copy pasted the 13th chapter over here, how many people would keep coming to listen? They would have said, been there, done that, this is boring, already did that. And so it has to be presented in a novel way, in a way that's attractive and naturally makes me want to do the right thing. And so therefore, these two kinds of personalities are talked about. Of course, there are many, many ways of talking about the personalities. There is according to psychologists, there is type A personality. They don't know how to stop working and they are very goal-oriented. Not necessarily moksha, arthakama. So then there is type B personality, all these things. Or if you take it spiritually, there are 9 types of personality based on, what is that called? Enneagrams. There is some enneagram. Don't ask me what it is, I don't know much about it, and you don't need to know either. Just know that there is something like that, and you can Google it, not now, in your spare time. And then if you are into numerology, again 9 other types of personality. What is number 1? Run by, governed by Surya Devata, etc., etc. You have different kinds of ways of personality. Bhagavan keeps it very simple. 2. Dvau bhutau sarge asmin loke. Daivaha asura evacha. 2 kinds. Because why? The upadana karana, the Maya Shakti, is in that form. Why is she in that form? That is how it is. We need some people whose main job is to exhaust the karma of the other people. That's why there are Asuri pravritti people, Asuri actions. Some people are just there to trouble others. And so here, 2 types. And if you look at the Puranic stories, there are 2 ladies, sisters I think they were. One of them is Diti, other one is what? Aditi, yes, sisters. So all the children belonging or born of Diti are called Daityaha, purely grammatical, born of Diti. Through no fault of her own, she populated the earth apparently with a lot of Rakshasas. And then that's how the Asuras came. And the children of Aditi became what? Sura, celestials, godly, sattvic people. So Dvau Bhuta Sargau Lokesmin, Daiva and Asura. And then there are only 2. And then the Daiva Sampatti was talked about from verses 2 and 3. 2 and 3 talked about Daiva Sampatti, and then we had in verse number 4 we had the Asuri Sampatti in short. Then that's going to be expanded most of the chapter. Then after that we were told that the Daivi Sampat is needed for moksha, whereas the Asuri Sampat, what does it do? It binds you to karma. it binds you to karma phala, it binds you to all kinds of things. And then from verses 7 to all the way up to verses 7 to 20, we have the unfolding of the Asuri Vritti. And then what is that? In short, what is the Asuri Vritti? They don't believe that the Jagat has any pratishtha. Pratishtha means there is no adhishthana for the Jagat. Ishvara is not there. Ishvara who? Only me. I am Ishvara. And this sounds very close to Mahavakya. But you have to see that it is powered by a world domination, desire to be something which one is really not. I am Ishvara means what? I can terrorize the people. And if you point to them that Ishvara does not terrorize the people, they will say, shut up. Go away. If you don't go away, I will send you away. This is what the thing is. They have a certain hunger for power and world domination. And that insecurity of the sons of Diti, children of Diti, that insecurity insecurity can come out in many, many ways. It can come out as inferiority complex. Nobody loves me and I'm not good at anything ever. That is how mostly it comes out. And actually it's a safe coming out. It's a safe way for it to come out. Because at least one doesn't harm anyone else. And whatever it is harmful to oneself, yes, but then one can go to the Shastra, go to the Guru and clean that up. That is a very good thing. But then if sometimes one it is much more extroverted, when one is much more extroverted, the insecurity comes out in, I don't feel good, but I don't like not feeling good. Therefore what? I'll make you feel bad so that automatically I'll feel good. I will terrorize you so that I will look good. This is the modus operandi, MO, of all the Rakshasas. And so this Rakshasas, they are actually they are weaklings inside. They have no courage, no sense of security, no sense of self, and no sense of Atma Bala, inner strength, is not there. So the Antahkarna has been just, they are so scared of themselves that the Antahkarna is farmed out to learn bad things, because that's the only way they can, only through domination they can have a say, a sense of self, a sense of purpose, a sense of identity. This is the sad thing. And so all their activities are also accordingly terribly messed up. So then, Lord Vyasa has choice words for them. Alpa buddhayaha, pea-brained. What is the size of matar? Yeah, pea, tiny. So their brains are the size of a pea, pea-brained. Alpa buddhayaha. And then what else? Nashtatmanaha, people who have destroyed themselves. And then they carry an umbrella. What is the umbrella? Kama. Never-ending Kama is a huge umbrella. They resort to Kama. They go under the umbrella of Kama, and hiding under the umbrella of Karma, they leash a reign of terror over all the people. What kind of Kama? Dushpura Kama. A Kama that is difficult to resolve because it is too much. And therefore they are what? Asha Pasha Shatair Baddhaha, 12th verse. They are full of Asha, which is like Pasha. We already talked about it. Chains and chains of Asha. And then what? Aparimeyam Chintam. Therefore, they are always worried. They are guarding their wealth. They are guarding everything. And they also divide the world into two. Oh, I know. Daivi and Asuri Sampat. No. They divide the world into two like this. This is all mine. What is that? Not yet mine. Soon to be mine. So half of the world is mine, and the other half is what? Soon it is going to become mine. And so therefore, They cannot look at anybody else objectively. It's like, what can I get out of this fellow? Yeah, this one has a nice watch, that one has a nice voice, this one I can keep as a pet at home. Why? Why do you want to keep this person as a pet? Because this person is generous and a general buddhu. Then I can keep them at home and they can be a, what is that called? Haji, Haji, yes man. Somebody who keeps saying nice things. Somebody who keeps saying wonderful things. Like Ravana. Ravana had a mantri, forgot his name. Ravana had a mantri, and who was a yes man. So Ravana would say, so looks like Rama is going to attack. Yes, Your Majesty, and I have heard he has supernatural powers, and in fact there are whispers about that he is Bhagavan, he is an avatara. What? You say that we are going to be worried about two men, Rama, Lakshmana, and a bunch of monkeys? And immediately he knows that the knife is coming close to his neck. Immediately he says, no Bhagavan, not at all, Your Majesty. We are Sri Lankans and we have so much. We are the kingdom of Lanka. We are invisible. We have so many armies and artillery and everything. We will vanquish them. And then we will just send them crying home, back to Ayodhya. And then, Ravana says, yeah, but that Rama is all very clever. And that Lakshmana is so devoted to Rama. I don't know what's going to happen. And then I have taken away his wife. It's not a small thing to take away a person's spouse and then there not have any repercussions. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Majesty. I have heard that they have. You are not the first person they have fought against. They have fought against many, many big asuras. What? I am the biggest one. What do you mean they have fought against people bigger than? Yes, Your Honor. You are the biggest. So some people they keep as pets because they need to have this, the ego constantly being fed by flattery. And so these are the people who are so weak and so full of second guessing themselves. And then they keep saying, Asomaya hatashatruhu. I have killed this one, I have killed that one, I can even kill you. And then what? Ishvaraha aham. I am Ishvara. Mahavakya. Okay, note it down. Yeah. So, Ishvaraha aham. Not a Mahavakya. Why? See what follows? Aham bhogi. Aham bhogi. I am an enjoyer, so therefore not a Mahavakya. Because Ishvara, if he or she was really Ishvara, Kartritva, Bhoktritva, Buddhi would not be there. Ishvara would not say Aham bhogi. Even though in the one of the ending chapters it says Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam, Sarva Bhuta Maheshwaram, 8th chapter ending it says, but that's a different entirely. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam means I am the recipient of all the yajnas and the tapas and the dana and the puja that people do. That's not what is being said here. Ishvaroham, if we think it's Mahavakya, please look at the fine line, fine print carefully. What does he say? Aham bhogi. Bhogi means what? Rakshasa. So that's what it is. And then I am Sukhi. They are not Sukhi. They have to say they are Sukhi because it is again a masquerade. It's not that. And then they keep patting themselves on the back. Kaha anyaha asti sadrisho maya. Who is like me? Who can do this? Who can do that? And then atma sambhavitaha mohajala samavritaha prasaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narake ashuchau. Bhagavan says, what am I going to do to them? I am going to send them to the lower realms of Naraka. Patala. If you want to meet these people, go to Patala and get some what should I say, biographies over there. That is because sometimes people go and interview famous prisoners They go to the solitary confinement prisons, high security prisons, and write a book about some famous prisoners. Infamous, I should say, not famous. So then if you want to meet an infamous, notorious Rakshasa, we'll find them. Bhagavan helpfully tells us in the lower realms of Naraka. And then what? Then Atma Sambhavitaha means east or west, I am the best. They keep praising themselves. Stabdaha. Stabdaha means they are like a tree that has been struck by lightning and only the hollow trunk is standing there, unable to bend. Stabdaha means unable to bend. Physically also unable to bend because they want to just hold themselves up stiff like that, and then mentally, emotionally also unable to bend. Unable to say, you know what, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. Unable to say that. Even by mistake, they will not apologize. This is like a narcissistic personality disorder, textbook, description. If you look in the narcissistic personality disorder, it's all check, each and everything. And so, stabdaha, and then what? Mohajala samanvidavritaha, covered by delusion, totally covered by the net of delusion, and then they are completely, bathed in the pride of name and fame and money, and then even when they do yajna, they just go do it for the sake of getting some more name and fame out of the yajna. And so, avidhi purvakam means they don't follow any rules. You have to do namaskara, the priest will say. After offering this, you have to do namaskara. No, I am not doing namaskara, skip that, next step. Because stabdaha, they will not be humble enough to do namaskara. You have to give dakshina. What dakshina? No, go, do, skip that step also. Say, just like you said, abharanartham, akshatam, samarpayami, upavitartham, akshatam samarpayami, dakshinartham, akshatam samarpayami. Don't do that. But this is how they say. Why to give dakshina? Because we have all these substitutes. Instead of costly jewels, oh Lord, please take this yellow rice dyed in turmeric, few grains. My bhavana is there, my feeling is there. I'm as though offering you costly jewels, but just giving you a few grains of rice. Instead of we have to offer a silver, what is that called? A sacred thread. And then instead of that, I'm just giving you what? Ditto. Same, a few more grains of this yellow rice. Oh, I forgot to buy flowers. Pushpartham. And sometimes in winter and all in America, etc., you don't get flowers unless you're ready to spend a small fortune. You don't get in your garden, etc., in wintry places, Northern Europe, etc., unless you remember to go to the shop and get it, and then it will being packed and sent from some South American countries, Colombia or somewhere. And so therefore, big flower industry in there. And so then, that's what the whole thing is. And then so there is, suppose you don't have flowers. What do you say? Pushpartham akshatan samarpayami. Instead of pushpa, what do I offer? Akshata. Bhagavan doesn't say anything. Okay, theek hai, no problem. But then the one thing you are not allowed to do is say, whoever helps you do the puja yajna, you cannot say instead of dakshina, I'm going to give all the priests little bit of yellow rice. That is a papa karma. You are not allowed to do that. You have to honor the people. Here they don't honor anybody. Why? Because they themselves want to be honored all the time. And so they don't have any thing of honoring in the dictionary. Okay? And then Bhagavan from verses 29, no, not 29, however, it only has 24 verses, okay? Yeah, from 19 and 20 describes what he is going to do to them. Kshipami ajasram. Ajasram means as they are born and as they do bad things, continuously I keep throwing them. Throwing them where? Read and tell me. Where does he throw them? Asurishu yonishu. In the kinds, because the human birth was obviously a waste. Why? Because they kicked, bit and scratched all the people they came into encounter with, either mentally, physically or emotionally. They hurt this thing. So then let them have a hurtful life. Next life, viper. Not windshield viper, okay? Yeah. VIPER, viper. What's a viper? Poisonous snake. Another time, alligator. And then, third time, scorpion and crab. This is the kinds of, because they also just keep biting. And here, human janma was wasted. I gave you a human life, what did you do? I hit, I bit, I bashed up people, I killed people. Okay, do that. At least you will not incur any papa, because it is your swabhava to bite. Keep biting. And so, this way, asurishu yonishu kshipami. And the chapter ends with a very nice, very helpful and specific advice. There are 3 doors which lead directly to Naraka. And it's, and it says, do not open. You will go straight to Naraka. 3 doors. What is the first door? Kama. Kama means it's not just desire. I'd like to have ice cream. That's not going to lead you to Naraka. Okay? What will lead you to Naraka? I have ice cream. I want ice cream. You have ice cream. And then therefore what? Chindi, bindi. I'm going to cut you up and take the ice cream. That is what it is. And then so I have things that belong to others at their cost. At the cost of hurting them materially, financially, mentally, emotionally. This is papa. So the one doorway marked kama, binding kama, desires that bind me to do adharma. That's what is called binding desires, as we have seen in the 2nd chapter of the Gita long back, and as Swamiji also mentioned recently. And then the 2nd door is marked what? Krodha. Krodha means sweet temperament, correct? No. Krodha, anger. That means what? Everybody is going through this door because all the people in the world get angry. That's not the idea. Unmanaged anger. We don't say control the anger, because if somebody is angry and you tell them control your anger, what will happen to them? They'll get more angry. They will try and control you, not the anger. Anger cannot be controlled. Nobody wants to be angry. Anger happens. And so, what do we talk about it? How do we say? Anger management. You manage the anger. First you manage it after it comes, and it has left a series of, series of difficult damages. So managing anger in the beginning is damage control. Meaning you have to apologize, you have to say, I'm sorry, I won't do this again, I don't know what happened, I'm working on it, and yes, I shouldn't have done this, lot of damage control. Then after a little while, managing the anger means as it is happening, I am noticing. Before, when would I notice? After it happened and all the fallout happened, somebody told me that your anger is the cause of all this. Then I said, Ayyo, that person has First I got angry on that person also. Then afterwards I said, yes, they are correct. Due to some grace operating over time, I said, yes, they are right. And then I tried to correct myself. So that is the first level of growth. Then the second level of growth is what? as it is happening, I see. I know. What do I know? I shouldn't say this. This will be hurtful. I say it anyway, but I know I shouldn't say it. And as I'm saying it, sorry. And then I say a few more things I shouldn't say. I do a few more things I shouldn't do. But then I apologize, or I know that I'm not in the right relationship to my own values and attitudes. This is the second level of growth. And the third level of growth is what? Before it happens, I become a witness, a sakshi, a witness. And then I say, let me leave here. Let me disappear before I do any more damage with my actions, with my speech, with my attitude, anything. With my looks, because they say looks can kill. Yeah. If looks could kill, they say that. So therefore, before all this happens, what do? I just say, I forgot, I have to do something immediately. And then I just leave the situation. And if I have a little more time before the anger hits, I'll say, this is not good for me to discuss this right now. I'll discuss it at a later date and a later time. I'll give you a different appointment later, not now. So this way one manages the anger. And then so this is door number 2. What is door number 3? Lobha. Lobha, we say, everybody says, I don't have lobha. I'm happy. I don't want to keep on getting things what other people have. Lobha is a very sneaky thing. It's not about getting people what other people have. That's not all. That's just a textbook definition of lobha. Lobha, on the contrary, is again due to insecurity, due to a kind of a rampant insecurity, because of which I am under the delusion, the more I have, the better it is. I just need more of this or more of that. More is better. So lobha covers, this way if you look at lobha, avarice, greed, it covers a lot of ground. It covers everything from overeating, overindulging, wanting this, more and more of the same thing. All these things. And coveting, hoarding behavior is also lobha. Door number 3. Says these 3 things you avoid. And then you will be very, very safe. Safe from what? Asuri vritti. Asuri vritti will not be there. And so then he says, then how to be safe? How to avoid these 3 doors? Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. How to avoid them? Very easy. Resort to what the Shastra says. Shastra here is Karma Kanda. Pramana, it's not Shabda Pramana or anything. What the Karma Kanda says. Resort to what the Shastra says, and what the Shastra says, do that. See the Shastra as a Pramana for your beliefs, for your actions, for whatever you think you need to be doing. And that way you are safe from all these 3 doors. The 3 doors to Naraka. And that is how the thing ends. Arjuna, being a thoughtful person, his head gets stuck in, what is that? In a different category of people, not discussed here in the 16th chapter. 2 kinds of people were discussed. Daivi and Asuri conduct, Daivi behavior, Asuri behavior, Asuri thinking, Daivi thinking. But then there might be some people in between. Arjuna has a very soft heart. He is for the underdog and he is for the unrepresented people in society. And so he thinks of a different category of people, not covered by this chapter at all. Who are they? Here he was told, if they do dambhena avidhipurvam yajante, these, who are these people? Rakshasas. They do yajna out of pride. They do yajna for the sake of fame, They do yajna. Why? For the sake of getting money. They'll send a collection. I'm doing yajna. And then what? They will spare a few drops of ghee for the yajna and put everything else in their kitchen for their own use. This is how they do it. So he knew that there are these kinds of people, and there are those kinds of people who do it exactly according to the Shastra, keeping the Shastra as pramana. But one group has been left out. What about those who have not studied the Veda? Why did they not study the Veda? Because by the time the Gita was written, the religion had become very, very patriarchal. So that was one reason they didn't study the Veda. There was the Varna system had coalesced into something that was very ugly looking, and so therefore that some people were left out. They were told they could not study the Veda. Women were left out. Women were not allowed to study the Veda by and by. So much so that even now there are people who say you should not chant Rudram. If you are a woman, you should not say Om, because all this gives Vairagya. That's why. And if women have Vairagya, who will take care of children? Who will cook? Who will clean? That was the idea, to keep the division of labor somehow the status. Yeah, she had her own ashram. She was there in the middle of the woods. Rama will come, Rama will come, Rama will come. She had heard. She didn't know when, because the kind of mobile phone she had could not receive texts. Okay, and so then what? Every day she swept and cleaned and lit the lamp and waited for Rama. Then one fine day Rama did come, and she offered him these kind of, what are they called? Berries, but a bear or something. Yeah, it has hardly, not much flesh. It is not very fleshy. But then, there are, out of the ones you pick, some of them are not tasty at all. They're very pungent. And so she said, how to make sure I only give him the sweet berries? Simple, bite one side and then keep it on the other side. Whichever ones are pungent, keep them on the other side. Only give the sweet ones. Now she had a lot of Shraddha. Rama ate. Rama came and ate. Lakshmana was ready to cut her head off. He was very protective of his brother. But Rama ate. Rama blessed her with moksha. And Rama ate that. Well, why did Rama eat? Because he saw that she had Shraddha. Because her Shraddha touched him and moved him. So there are people like Shabari, there are people like that. There are numerous examples in the Shastra itself, like Hanumanji looking for Rama. Sita gives him a lovely, very expensive freshwater pearl necklace, and then what does he do? Bites into it. Looks, thoo, spits it out. Bites into the other one, thoo, spits that also out. And then Lakshmana is, "Hey monkey," he says. First time he calls him that. Mother Sita gave you her best necklace. You are ruining it. What are you doing? You're destroying this necklace. Well, I'm looking for Rama. Things which have no Rama have no meaning. First I said, what is this? Like a necklace. Okay. She put it on my neck. I took it out. I said, oh, there is no Rama outside, but maybe there is a thread going in. Maybe the thread has Rama, or there is Rama inside. So I bit one, no Rama. I bit the next, no Rama, like this. But see, avidhi purvakam. There is no rationale to this, no logic. But the heart is full of devotion, dripping with Shraddha. You haven't told me, where do they belong in this scheme of yours? Where do they belong, O Lord Krishna? What about them? And that is why the 17th chapter is begun. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yogo Nama. So that is what we will study when? Tomorrow. So now we will close with chanting the chapter together. Okay? Om Atha Shodashodhyayah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेषु लोलुप्त्वं मार्दवं ह्रीरचापलम् तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदमासुरीं दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता माशु च सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जना न विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारः न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते असत्यमपतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम् एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहात् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः चिन्तामपरिमेयां च प्रलयान्तमुपाश्रिताः कामोपभोगपरमाः एतावदिति निश्चिताः आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यानेनार्थसञ्चयान् इदमद्य मया लब्धम् इमं प्राप्स्ये मनोरथम् इदमस्तीदमपि मे भविष्यति पुनर्धनम् असो मया हतः शत्रुः हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोऽहमहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी आढ्योऽभिजानवानस्मि कोऽन्योऽसि सदृशो मया यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्ये इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ताः मोहजालसमावृताः प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च आत्मसम्भाविताः स्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेनाविधिपूर्वकम् अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं च संश्रिताः मामात्मपरदेहेषु प्रद्विषन्तोऽभ्यसूयकाः तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यघमागतिम् त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत् एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम् यशास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम् तस्माच्छास्त्रं प्रमाणन्ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि। ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे दैवासुरसम्पद्विभागयोगो नाम षोडशोऽध्यायः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः